That's it there.
That's just regular public comment.
I'm gonna call for it here.
Okay, so we're gonna open and close the hearing.
Yes.
Here it is. So it's all over there. Sorry. You know where you're going.
You got your zoning ordinance. Did you bring your zoning ordinance with you? Here's the pages I highlighted just in case.
It would be great that you highlighted these.
They're gonna go from light industrial to commercial business, which is about these 4 and upper stories. No, they're asking for a CB. You sure?
Yeah.
I don't have it, but I didn't see anything wrong with it.
There's looking on where it's
We just got it here.
6.2 or something like that.
yeah.
Here. CB.
But that's not what's in here. Oh, wow. Oh, allowed for next year's. I guess the CB does allow next year's.
Yeah. As a
So,
matter of fact, if you look at here, all of them, all your commercials, all of them.
right, well, we tried to do that, and this, but I was thinking when I read next year's, they were doing that. So. I'm looking for where that checklist is. In the zoning ordinance. If you parse it out.
Yes, sir.
These are the questions that have to be asked, answered by them. In there, the application for resign. So what does he say about each of those things? It's special use.
Special use.
He is permitted, just as a birthday can do that.
Yeah.
And we can grant special use if there's a mess.
How you doing, Ray? How you doing?
Actually,
Sir, how you
we
doing?
recommend, we
Thank you, ma'am.
propose and recommend the listed commission special use. Like we did for medical marijuana.
Yeah, for no more.
Hello,
Hi there.
how are you?
Good.
You wanna
I
agenda?
was looking for the.
Oh, you got it.
I was looking for the RFP for the lead center. You didn't-
We didn't send out one. She bring it up today. She said, wasn't anything to give you, that's why I didn't get back to you. I still haven't seen it. She says it.
Mr. Jack, when you made the head of subcommittee, did you make?
What she
Some
was
notes,
supposed
and then,
to
Tracy took
put it together. She says this draft that she showed up today.
Okay. Okay,
So
thank
we
you.
haven't approved anything.
Okay. I just wanted to see it beforehand so I can.
We
read it.
did too.
Oh, I got you.
Where's it at?
It looks like this, it should be.
It wasn't with the other stuff.
Well, I'll take, Mr. Hudson, that one, we picked up his back.
Oh, you didn't,
Yeah, I think I got it. There we go.
what's?
That one, it's right
Oh,
there.
this is it?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm
Sorry.
confused with that.
Oh.
I got it.
I put a nice little logo on the cover page
That's cute.
for branding purposes.
All right, here we go. 2 different days.
Mhm.
Let's see, you guys all set to go.
Yeah, guess so. City manager, we got it for him.
We'll be with you in just a moment. We're still shuffling papers.
Oh, 300. I mean, Main Street. Okay.
You ready? City Clerk, we are ready to call the meeting to order of the March the 3rd Planning Commission meeting. We call the roll, please.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Present.
Commissioner Henry,
Present.
Commissioner McGee,
Present.
Commissioner Marshall, Commissioner Shaw, Mayor Muhammad, Commissioner Hensel,
Present.
Chairman Reed.
Present.
You have a quorum.
We move to agenda item number 3. I wish to make revisions to the agenda. I would like to take the new business and move it up to agenda item 6. Move agenda item 6 down to agenda item 7. We want to do that take care of that business. We're on a short schedule today. So I need a motion to revise the agenda.
So moved.
Motion is made by Commissioner Marshall, Mitchell,
Support.
supported by Commissioner Hensel. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner McGee,
Present. Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Agenda item number 4, the regular meeting minutes of the meeting from February 4th, 2020. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I move we approve the minutes.
Motion is made by Commissioner Hensel.
Support.
Supported by Commissioner McGee. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
This the minutes.
yes.
Yes.
Commissioner McGee,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes. At this time, I'd like to invite the public, if you have any comments you'd like to make, please step forward and you'll be heard. Nobody is forth, so we will close the public comment section of the meeting. We now will move to agenda item number 6, new business. We have a rezoning request for the corner of 5th and Park.
So it is a public hearing, so we're opening it up now?
I'm gonna do that in just a moment. I was looking for the, oh, here it is here.
Okay.
The rezoning is for the Park and Fifth parcel. The ID numbers are 5403407402-1 and the parcel 54034 007401 and 2. The request is to change it from light industrial to central business. At this time, I would like to open up the public hearing portion of the meeting. Does anybody in the public have any discussion points, issues they'd like to have with this?
My
Yes,
name is Victoria Dunlop. I'm
could
a
you
co-
step up to the mic, please?
Yes. Good evening. My name is Victoria Dunlop. I'm a Coloma resident. I work in Benton Harbor, and I am a frequent customer of the Mason Jar. I would like to say that over the years, the owners, their staff, and the quality of food has been nothing but superb and first class. And I would encourage you to think very seriously about their request to change the sales tax bracket. It will benefit the city of Benton Harbor greatly. Thank you.
Thank you for your
Sorry.
Everyone hear the comments?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any additional comments? The public hearing portion of this meeting is wait, after the public hearing. Easy to do. There are no additional, we close the public hearing portion. At this time, we would like the applicants to make their presentation, please.
Face it to you guys.
Okay. I was a little premature in closing the public hearing. Okay, we will reopen it then.
Or reopen the public hearing?
Well,
So you can do your,
they've made their present opinions known, so now it's time for you to speak up.
Okay, it's not time for me to speak.
Now it's time for you to speak.
Okay.
Applicant's presentation.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for having us. I thank Messenger for giving me the opportunity to do their new building in Benton Harbor. And what we're asking for is to rezone that parcel to a business. That way, it's now zoned light industrial, and light industrial may not have permitted all the things that we wanted to do there. So we are asking for a zoning to business. Business will let it be mixed use because they want to have a restaurant at the first floor and maybe apartment at the second floor. When we checked your new master plan, it hasn't been adopted, but it's going to be hopefully. That area all is going to be mixed use. So by giving us the permission to rezone it now, it's just furthering what the master plan is going to be calling for. We have submitted the plans to the zoning and building department, and I'm not sure what their comments are to you commissioners. But our request will be that you allow us to have this rezoned, and then we will then proceed with the site plan review. I'd like to show you the, this is the site plan that you have, but this is how the building is going to look and fit in to the environment. This is existing building, this is going to be the new building.
Now, the side of the street that you're on is just the two lots,
Yes,
just those two vacant lots?
Yeah.
Now, we're doing a rezoning request. We're not doing site plan review at this time.
no, I didn't think we could do both at the same time.
No, you have to have a permission.
Yeah, we have to have the permission to rezone before you could
Okay.
do site plan.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay. Question recognized. Chair recognizes Mr. Henson.
I'm not clear. You mentioned mixed use and the master plan calls for mixed use, but then some of what I read says commercial. So are you, to be consistent with that area and to keep things uniform, it should probably be done as a mixed use? Is that what, I don't have your
Yes.
actual application, I have parts of something, I don't know what it is. So,
Commissioner Hanson, I don't think you have there now mixed use.
it's in the master plan now, and in
It's
order
in the
for us,
master plan.
right, and in order for us to change the zoning, it has to be in here.
Yeah, have you adopted the master plan? I don't, that's the issue was, we have to change the what you have now. Not,
On the land use and development plan, page 25 of the master plan, there is actually a map that shows that location as mixed use.
yes,
Okay, the zoning ordinance, I don't know what the zoning map looks like right now. I don't have a current version of that to look at. But if we are rezoning, we have to follow what the master plan calls for, which is mixed use. So,
yeah, that's the ultimate goal. We were just following your zoning map current, because we have to write what you have currently on
Right,
the
and we can only change to what's in here.
Okay, so we will be very happy if we could get the mixed use now, instead of having to wait till you adopt.
Do we have our zoning map handy? The official updated zoning map?
I just saw it on that. Where was it?
Yeah, it's in his package,
Is that what it is?
last page of his package.
Is that our, that we have, that's the official document. Is that,
Here we go. It's on this particular one here. It's just this little section right here.
right, so,
And the one that's currently is,
so
look at this across the street.
this,
It's already permitted where they're at now. They just want to move across the street, so they're asking for the
this
rezoning.
is Park and Fifth Street, and in the master plan, it is mixed use. So apparently the zoning map and the master plan don't agree, which is why you're asking for a rezone.
Yes.
Right.
And for us to rezone, we have to go to mixed use, if we're following the regulations of the zoning ordinance. So it would be mixed use.
Okay. Why are we
I don't know,
having an issue here?
because it should be mixed use. This and not this. Because this says,
Show me what you're talking.
so here's the map.
Okay, that's
This
fine.
is the intersection, that's where they want to put it, and you see it's mixed use. So these maps,
Okay, let's do this
Are the-
again. See
right.
what it is.
it's
It's
just,
permissible.
yeah, it's all permissible. It's just that we want to make sure we give you the right zoning
Okay,
based on what we're required to use to make the change,
okay,
which is this, the master plan. The
Yeah.
adopted official master plan.
okay. We
Ordinance.
want to,
From the zoning map has a different, obviously has a different
yes,
zone there. But our goal in doing the master plan and the ordinance was that they were supposed to align, apparently it doesn't. So we're allowed to change it
yeah.
to
Really, we would
whatever's
like
in the master plan.
Yeah, we would like to.
So it's all
end up-
consistent.
Yeah, we would like to end up with the master plans, notation.
Yeah.
We just didn't know we could leapfrog the existing, zone.
The ordinance, of course we have.
Is it one of these, the one that this is?
Well, it's fine, but we need to make sure that we're giving them the right approval. This is, I have this.
Okay. All of the ordinances permitted, every single one, mixed use, every single category is permissible.
I think you're,
I'm not, I understand exactly.
the zoning ordinance says that we need to use this as our guide for rezoning. And so we can rezone to mixed use, which is consistent with the rest of the neighborhood and what they are going to use it for. But on the paper that I saw, it says
Show me the,
it's
no.
commercial central business, which
Yeah, that
it
was
is
in the
not.
email.
That whole area is mixed use.
It's just not showing that it's,
This
is
is
that purple
that's
issue?
the corner right there. This is Park Street. This is their corner. This is Territorial Road. So their corner already shows up on the master plan as.
So this purple.
So
is
we're
all
going
mixed
from
use.
this to mixed use. So from IL to MU.
Oh, show me the issues. The color code for the issue.
It's very
Okay, but
sort of purple. I don't know, lilac.
where's the commercial B?
So commercial is this color here, and that's Main Street.
What he's saying is that the current location of the mason jar is in mixed use.
And the lot
In the.
The street.
in the master plan.
In the master plan, yes,
Yes.
we did realize that, but we didn't know that we could leapfrog the existing zoning map to that. So, but we are happy to go with your
We still have
master
to,
plan.
we still have to make the change
Now,
because the zoning, we're taking your zoning map
Yeah,
as the same as the legal one, which is somewhere floating around here on a board. And if that's the case, then you're going from IL to MU,
Yes.
not from IL to CB.
okay,
I believe where the confusion may have come in is that both are permitted in that either one.
okay.
That would be under the section 2.52. I have a copy here if you like a copy of it.
No, we can get it, yeah. The thing was we saw both. And we felt like, okay, one is current and then the master plan I thought hasn't been adopted as the zoning, the code. So if it's been adopted, obviously we will be really happy we want to end up at mixed use.
Zoning shows it in both, master plan only shows it under the mixed use.
Yeah,
So
okay.
what the commissioner is saying is that if you change it to mixed use, then you'll be in full compliance with everything.
Yeah, we will do that.
Is this something they need to?
Ask, do we need this document?
Do they need to come back?
Their
and can we
application
change the
changed?
document now?
Okay.
What's that?
Can we give a conditional approval now that if they change it to mixed use?
Well, what I found was, and I wrote out, was in accordance with a master plan, rezoning aligns the new building to match what the city has outlined. They are working to achieve what they are in the new plans. Master plan marks the future development of lots south of Park Street to be mixed use, which is the equivalent of central business with the current zoning map. Similar to other buildings surrounding the buildings, all have central business zoning with those setbacks. By approving the rezoning, the new building could reflect and conform to this existing standard present and historic of downtown Benton Harbor. The new building design would take into account the existing building and reflect the architectural language in the design. Light industrial does not allow for upper story residential, removing the possibility of providing more housing in the area and more tax base.
So did you have anything?
From what he just said, it sounds like the key is adding the housing. We have to change it.
Yes.
Excuse me. Right. I think what we are saying here is that instead of applying for CB, we should just go ahead and change that language to mixed use. And we've totally agreed with that. So it's just a matter of writing MU instead of CB. I think,
That was the question I asked.
Yeah, that was
the answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
Can they simply change the application now, or does he have to go through this whole process all over again?
We should be able to do it now.
That's what it's permissible.
Yeah.
So, either way, there's no issue there. It's just that it's not in C. I mean, the MU, multiple uses, what we're looking for. And that's a permitted activity to have a second floor residence.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're all in agreement then.
It would really enhance that area,
That's, okay, the only thing we're looking at is to make sure he's in compliance with the
Well, that's
master
true.
plan. And he is.
and it does.
Since he
do that.
just changed it to,
Yeah, we changed it to MU.
okay. Was there any other questions?
No, I was gonna say the same thing. It's in our email, we got CB, even though it is permissible, misuse would be the proper way to go.
Okay, we're in agreement. Any additional discussion?
Call for the question.
Call for the question. That's, we need a motion to approve or deny.
And make a motion that we approve the change in zoning from IL to MU on parcels, tax ID number 1154-0340-0074-02-1 and parcel 11-54-003-40-0074-01-2.
Yes.
Second.
Motion's made by Commissioner Hensel, supported by City Manager Mitchell. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Abstain.
Commissioner McGee,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to change it from CD to MU has been approved. At this time, do we approve the request for the zoning change?
That's it.
That's it? Okay. We'll close the hearing at this time.
Thank you very much.
At this time, we'll move to old business. I would like to change the sequence that we're in here. I believe we did that earlier. We're gonna do the request for proposal, the zoning ordinance and master plan revision update. Do you have a draft plan? Yes. And that is the proposal.
Chairman and Commissioners, in your packets, there is the draft of the RFP for the new master plan and zoning ordinance update for your review. We met a small committee February 20th, I believe it was,
Yes.
and went over the previous RFP that had been dispersed and looked at recommendations from MEDC's RRC planner for our region as well, kind of put together a suggested draft of the RFP, and this is what you have in front of you. If you notice though, there are no dates associated with anything, and that's only because I'm waiting on the go ahead from you all, the approval. Then I'll plug in dates after I speak with city clerk about the due dates and the bid opening and all that. But this is the document in its entirety for your review.
Thank you for taking a look at this. Do you have, can you indicate which changes we made? I don't have my copy with me.
Well, there's a few. A lot of it was just language,
To comply with the IRS.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. In page number 1, there are a lot of just changes with language. What was an addition from the RRC, if you look on page 1, like the master plan expectations, that was an addition from the RRC scope of work suggestion. And then when we talk about the scope of work, the first chunk where you see the bullet points, but also headlines that are bold, those are additions, and it kind of just expounds upon the community profile, community engagement, goals and objectives, future land use plan / zoning plan, and implementation. Those are additions. Hold on just a second. And I think, for the most part, yeah, that's it.
We also indicated we want a development of sub-plans outlining downtown development and economic development strategy and a neighborhood revitalization plan. Those were some of the key elements that we wanted to add to that.
Yeah, and that's what the, one of these bullet points.
Everyone from the top, from the bottom,
Yeah.
on page 2.
And then in the cost of the contract, we were looking for a lump sum project cost. That would be on page 3 under project cost
Okay.
and contract. That language is there. It says lump sum project cost with a breakdown illustrating the cost of the various deliverables. An estimate of the amount of staff time required. Approximate time to be allocated for each staff member. And monthly building statements. I'm looking for the language for a not to exceed.
I knew that there was something that I was missing, so it's the not to exceed.
Right.
That's on the bottom of page 3, bottom paragraph, top line. So that's
City expects a professional services contract with a not to exceed fee for the required services. Okay, what we're looking at, we want them to give us a lump sum cost. And if there's any overrun, they will cap it. So we need to know what the cap is. In other words, if they go over the cap, it's on them. You're not gonna pay for it. I believe those were the changes that we put into it. So this is a draft.
Yeah.
We're looking for now is an approval of the draft, and this will become the request for the proposals. Have you all had ample time to look it over, or did you need more time?
Mr. Chair, I do have a question. On page 4,
Yes, sir.
At the conclusion of services, a selected consultant shall provide 3 copies of the master plan and updated zoning ordinance, along with electronic copies, both in editable Microsoft format and PDF. Why are we having them print enough for the planning commission? I don't know why we would, I mean, since the city would have to pay to have it printed, we can make it part of the same project and pay for it all at once, but we should have enough.
So maybe bump that.
How many copies are you?
So I don't know, is that 12 copies?
8 plans. I think total.
State current.
Yeah. Then at least 1 copy for plus CED permit, that's 10. But then if you wanted to have additional copies for inside, maybe like the CED office, then additional copies for the full commissioners, 1 for the library.
Yeah.
What do you think about that number? Okay. Did you say 20? I don't even know what that would be.
You just counted.
No, this is just the draft we're talking about, right?
No,
This is after the commission approved it or before the commission approved?
No, this would be the copies of the main master plan and updated zoning ordinance after they completed it.
Well, I would definitely recommend that the full council get one.
Oh, definitely.
So, how many did you count, city clerk?
You came up with 12 here plus the 9 commissioners.
12.
Right. Office copies, 8 of us, city manager included, and then
I got you.
9 of you on commission. One for the library.
Still looking at
20. The corrected draft will read on page 4 under deliverable that the conclusion of service is selected consultant shall provide 20 copies of the master plan and updated zoning ordinance, along with the electronic copies of both in editable Microsoft format and PDF. Are there any other additional changes to the draft tonight, or is that acceptable?
I have a question asked about the bidding, letting the bid out. I know we're gonna work through MEDC, but where are they going to let the bid out? In what media, what capacity?
It was my understanding, and I can get clarity on this, was my understanding that they are going to, get the bid out to the consultants that they specifically work with. As, since we did it to whomever, the clerk sent it out and had, the RFP put out where all RFPs go, and we got 0 bites. MEDC was specifically going to get the word out or put the bid out to, or the RFP out to those consultants that they have vetted and have worked with RRC certified communities before.
Was there a charge when the clerk did it the last time?
I can't speak to that. It will be, the clerk would know.
But I would suggest that we keep the local avenue open in case someone does have the capacity and wanna try, that we leave that open as well, don't concentrate on one spot. Can we put that in there too?
They can, I can submit to the clerk as well as MEDC.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr.
Does the city put the RFP on the website as well?
Yes.
So we can refer people, if they're local people or and just anyone, to that so they can read the RFP?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's a yes.
Another question, Chair.
Yes.
On page 2 of, and it says strategy need to, now, who is the person that is going to create the strategies to make sure that the plans, goals are become a reality? Who is that entity? Because, never mind, I just like an answer to my question. I won't go any further. Page 2 in the 1, 2, 3, the 4th bullet point.
Fifth from the top, 4th from the bottom.
If I'm here, Mr. Chair,
Yes, I recognize.
if I'm hearing you correctly, what you were asking is, will the staff be actually monitoring this process and working through to make sure that it's implemented? And that is what we will do. And that can be put in there.
You know, that was one of the big questions on the last time we spent $100-some thousand for the master plan. So,
Wasn't implemented, yes.
I like to see that community engagement is number one priority for us. If we don't see that, some of the trusts that we're trying to build with the community, the citizen, will surely disappear. So we want to make sure that we allow them every chance they can to understand the process and to have some input. I'd like to make sure that is number one priority, other than looking at some of the things that are on the master plan now that we don't see citizen capacity building in it. So it's a lot of things that we need to look at, but we definitely want the citizens to have their part in it. See themselves in the master plan. If they're not in the master plan like this one, we're just doing the same thing over and over again. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
community engagement is second in the scope of work. And the scope of work by ordering is basically, the first bullet is giving them something to work from.
Chair, if I may, I just did want to say too that these broken down bullet points from scope of work, they're new additions. I did not see the current master plan RFP, so I don't know exactly what's in it. But the implementation section, we've made sure that it was in there so that once the plan is done, there is an implementation section so that it can actually be implemented. And the community engagement piece too, that was a new addition to the RFP because we did recognize, like you said, that it's important to have community engaged.
I would like to also indicate that some of the potential recommendations for implementations would include costs that the citizens wouldn't be involved in. Would be, the city would have to approve for capital improvement projects such as streets, sewers, sidewalks. So when we say implementing, private developers would be involved and they would make their own presentation through the planning process of what they wanted to do. And if that is within the purview of the master plan, then basically it's what we did today.
So that's why we're gonna change some of that stuff in the master plan, because it did not help the citizens. So there will be some changes.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to make sure we had an economic development strategy and a neighborhood revitalization plan. So that's what we, I believe, didn't have before. And many of our existing property owners so far haven't committed to what they want to do with their vacant properties. That's why we wanted strong economic revitalization and community involvement to see if they can let the property owners know that they are or want to have these projects done, and they would support them in doing so. A lot of businesses coming to Benton Harbor have not had community support, and consequently these businesses have failed. The last the food sign down there. That's about the third business in a couple of years that's been in that building, and it continues to fail for lack of support from the community. These were the type of things where we need community involvement, to let them know that we must build a tax base that's not strictly residential. This will take the load off of them. So this is why we want to make sure that we put some of these economic development strategies, how we go about doing it. I believe that was why the last RFP, we went with what we thought would have been a consultant that would have been a better fit to do that type of urban planning as opposed to landscaping. So I think we're back to that same place again.
We're gonna go back to that again and again until we get what we want.
Okay. Good. At this point, did we put into the RFP the basic things that we're looking for? Or do you feel that there's something left out that we need to add? If we, she coming back? Okay.
Chair, I just got this and it looks good from where, but if there is something else that I see that, can I come to you and talk to you about it, or before it gets to the body, or how do we do that?
Yes, come back to me and we'll let the director know when she comes back that we'll let her know that it has been approved. And the reason we're doing this is the first time we've seen it draft. So. Okay. Do we need a motion to approve this or?
You want to approve the RFP?
We want to approve the language and say yes. Yes, the answer is yes. Is that what are we ready to approve it as it stands, or do you want?
Can we leave that option that if there's any more changes in it, after we review it extensively? Because this 15-minute of review is not enough for my old pea brain. So can we, if we approve it, we'll approve it with opportunities to change it if need be.
Or did you want to look it over again and bring it back to the next meeting?
We don't need a month.
Okay.
Wait, how much time do you need?
I don't know, I can read it tonight after the news go off, I don't know. I got a lot to do, but I can take care of it. But this 15-minute is just not enough for me.
Gotcha. What I was gonna suggest is we say if you haven't heard from us in 5 days, go ahead and proceed with it.
Okay,
And give us a 5-day period to make any additional changes.
okay.
And you'll notify me, and then we in turn will notify the entire commission. So,
Can't do that.
Is that enough?
No.
okay.
We can approve it
You're
with,
violating the Open Meetings Act if you're trying to work around not actually having dialogue and deliberation in public on whatever it is we're doing. So if we're gonna take some time to look at this, which I think is a great idea, then I think we probably should get together and know that we've all agreed to whatever changes there are going to be. So we need another meeting. And why wait till April? If we could squeeze something in
Especially.
with just this as the agenda item, we could still get something out before the end of the month.
Okay, we need to be out there in about 5 minutes or so we need to kind of move things along a little bit here. When do you suggest that we call this special meeting?
How long does how long do people feel they need to
A couple days for me. I can read that in a couple days. It's only 5 to 6 pages.
So,
Next week? This week?
I'm good
Tuesday,
anytime
the 10th?
next week. Tuesday the 10th.
The 10th is an election day, so we can do
oh,
That's what holiday meant.
doesn't have to be Tuesday, does it?
Keep in mind that there's a committee meeting too, though, that the 11th is public safety at 5:30.
Well, we meet at 1.
We do it in one.
So what about the 11th? Do we just meet on Wednesday? Does that work? Would that work for you?
Yeah, works for me.
Okay, so,
The 11th.
So that's Wednesday.
Would it be possible to do it on the 12th? Because I know the clerk has election wrap up the
Oh,
next
yeah,
day.
she gonna be told out.
So that probably wouldn't work for her.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Sorry for me.
What time?
12? One
Want
work?
to do 1 o'clock the regular?
1 o'clock?
In this chamber, okay.
We do
Okay.
We don't need to make a motion, do we?
Yes.
I move we schedule a special meeting for March 12th at 1 o'clock here in the commission chambers to discuss the request for proposals for the new master plan and zoning ordinance update.
Support. Motion made by Commissioner Hensel and supported by Commissioner McGee.
Okay. Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes?
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner McGee,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we have next business is a monthly absence report. Let it be noted that Commissioner Marshall indicated at the last meeting that he would be absent for perhaps the next 3 meetings. The mayor attends at his own discretion. Commissioner Shaw did not notify me of his absence. He has received the same information that the rest of us receive after when meetings are called. So at this time, I have not heard from him. So at this point, that would be an absence. Any other business concerning attendance report of the members? We move on to the update on contingency approvals, letters sent out to property owners. Mr. Nearpass, do we have any outstanding issues or letters on our contingencies?
Not at this time. We've had a few things that had a check bounce. But other than that, everything's been pretty quiet.
What about the 300 Main Street? Have we heard anything from them yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. I have received information, I have a letter from AEP project manager from Alvaro Rodriguez. He said that the project was suspended last year when we were forced to increase the capacity of our stormwater containment to account for a change communicated by the city of Benton Harbor. The city's 10th Street storm drain system could no longer be used in our stormwater containment design. In addition to this change, we discovered a significant change in the groundwater level and found constituents in the groundwater that created significant design challenges. To address these challenges, we investigated multiple alternatives, including site optimization and relocation. We analyzed 10 alternate sites in the Benton Harbor area and found no better alternatives. We currently have two options that will be presented to senior leadership next week. We intend to communicate our path forward to the city of Benton Harbor and the Berrien County Drain Commissioner in November. I will follow up shortly to set up a meeting. If you have any additional comments or concern, please advise. And this is dated November the 1st, 2019. You can have a copy for the records. Do we have any other correspondence that we need to put into the record?
Mr. Chair, let me say, we've not had any further correspondence on it. Have you been able to get in touch with? No verbal contact.
In fact, I didn't get that, what you're saying.
Okay, it'll be made part of the record in the building.
Okay.
I believe at our last meeting, we were going to attempt to reach out to them to find out where they're at on this.
I have sent them an email. I can send them another one. And in fact, I had that one person call and talk to me, but that's been, what, better than a month or so ago. That letter that I got, brought to Mr. Mitchell.
That's it. What I will do is I'll ask everybody that I know that knows them trying to reach. We're trying to reach. That includes our architects over at Allen Marsh. They've been trying to reach them also.
Okay.
Without any success so far.
Any more information?
I learned more from talking to Everhart than I did talking to them. So.
Okay, you will coordinate that with the city manager?
Yep.
Okay. Any additional discussion concerning any outstanding contingency approvals? None?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
have we gotten an update on the site on Pipestone Street in Colby that we were talking about has a contingent approval and is not met its contingencies?
What was that again? Please repeat yourself. Didn't quite understand you.
We've asked several times about the business in the building at the corner of Colby Street and Pipestone, the restaurant business there. And we've been waiting to hear when they're going to actually do what they said they were going to do in their contingent approval, which was to pave the lot, replace the sidewalks, put in the lighting, the plantings to protect the next door neighbor, that were all agreed to when we approved the site plan.
If I might read from the minutes of our last meeting, the site plan review for 14 Pipestone. Joseph Bullock's owner clarified that the building is still operating with catering done out of the building during the winter time. He reported that he's addressed all of the outstanding issues with the exception of the parking lot. He said that the water department damaged the sidewalk during the installation of a water line. He further stated that they are working to extend the building to allow for more sitting room inside. Now, if they are going to extend that, would they need a permit to do that work?
Yes, I would.
Okay, well, he's indicated that they're gonna extend the building to enlarge it so that they can have more sitting room.
They got no room to do that.
After discussion, city manager Commissioner Mitchell stated that the staff will work with Mr. Bullocks to make sure he has what is needed to operate. Have you heard anything from him since?
I have not heard a word.
Have you gone by there to see if he's?
I've been by there. In fact, anytime I come in After hours, I drive by there and nobody's been there.
He should be notified that if he's gonna do any work, he needs to get a permit and apply for it.
I think he's not talking about, Mr. Chair, I don't think he's talking about doing anything until the weather changes. He's just doing catering during winter months.
Okay.
That's what he said when he was here.
Yes, that's what I was getting, but I was,
But that still doesn't, allow him to not be in compliance.
That's right.
The compliance was the sidewalks and
parking lot.
it impacts the neighborhood, the block.
But he can't do anything with the grounds now, this weather.
But that's the letter that he should be getting, that he should be ready to comply,
That's correct.
as soon as he's able to do it.
That's correct. And we'll make sure that that's happening.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Enzo.
can we make sure too that he doesn't start construction on an addition to the building without having met his initial commitment to the city to complete the original project?
He gotta come back to,
We'll make sure that's included, sir.
Thank you. Is there any additional comments to details? Okay, if none, we'll move on to commission comments. Commissioner Mitchell,
I have nothing.
Commissioner Henry,
no comments.
Commissioner McGee,
No comments.
Commissioner Wenzel.
No comments.
I have no additional comments at this time. Motion to adjourn.
So
Made by city manager, supported by Commissioner McGee. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes?
Commissioner McGee,
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
yes.
Chairman Lee,
Yes,
motion carries.
we are adjourned.
I don't know. It's trying to look it up. Oh.
It's just more- I would-
I don't have any information on this. I told her I was going, to. I've already taken that class. Class, we went out there to, and I hear all that.
You have 4 hours. I gotta get.
Wire. How you do?
Look,
How you do?
talk with her, maybe. She got something.
4 hours for the sake.
I thought it said from, I personally believe I should put some more.
It's just we can treat that. We got to hang out.
It seemed that it was easy, not in compliance with the, you just have a case, if you say,
I got one, old fashioned one. Wire.
Well, anyway, let's, what I'll do is have Darlene make up the work order, put it on the building, and they'll come see it. Or you can do anything, so.
There as well. That is hardly anything that was proposed. And so you might wanna put something in that too, just so
Are you
Yeah.
leaving? Oh, it's
I saw you on
Can't
the
be
phone.
there either.
Thank you.
So, I don't know if you can put something on it or to get it out of there or what.
This last thing we need for tomorrow.
Oh,
Did you talk to Clark?
yes.
Clark said he can get it
So,
and he can
there's
get
apparently
it.
someone on Pipestone Street who owns a lot between some of those historic homes. He owns one He owns one of the houses and
Not as-
a lot next
Now
door.
that Rick said there's no
And
issue,
he's approached
at first they
the,
thought there was no issue.
the neighbor to tell her that he
We need
plans
to
to
talk
put
about among
a
our-
container house on that site.
They can't put any signs.
And the building code doesn't allow a container house anywhere in the city limits. But just keep your eyes and ears open because
Who's doing this?
I don't,
shouldn't have told me how to text.
Our kids dragged me into the 21st
Well,
century.
they dragged
with
me
this
too.
phone and
I'm
stuff.
glad. I be texting them.
Yeah, I'm good.
My kids helped me when I was 10. I said, Mom, let me show you.
Oh, I had to stop my daughter because when I would ask her something, she would get that look on her face. I was like, hold up, little girl. Wait just a minute.
Ricky,
Everything you know, I
your
told
last
you, don't you
four
try to
are
act like
0645.